Hi, my name is Rick Howell. I'm a TV guide, and this show is called Talk Back to Television. It's about the business of television, how we make the programs, how we distribute the programs, and mostly how we pay for the programs. Because if we can't pay for the shows, there's nothing to watch. Stay tuned. Good morning. This is Talk Back to Television, and I'm here with Dave Lazar, who is from Stage 10. Dave, first of all, what is Stage 10? Where are you, and what do you do?
Hey, Rick, great to be here. Thanks for having me on. Stage 10 is the complete purpose-built live shopping platform, and it's all about conversational commerce and the ways to monetize content that involve real-time interactivity, on-screen transactions. And I'm in Toronto.
All right. So now, okay. Let me just straighten one thing out. When you mentioned, I said this before we got started, when you mentioned conversational commerce or conversational shopping, for me, that pretty much means if I'm with somebody who's shopping, I tend to leave the store and go find somebody outside to talk to. Be that as it may, what do you mean by conversational shopping?
Well, it's really finally taking advantage of the internet as a two-way medium, and at Stage 10, that's always been our mission, that there was going to be a new wave of truly interactive content formats monetized by on-screen transactions that was going to come up, and we needed to help to build the technical infrastructure to make that possible. And what we learned from powering live shopping content for major brands and media companies and big retailers, we learned very quickly that it's much more effective if you're delivering the content in real time, so it can be conversational. So let's say someone has a question about the product. They go, "Hey, how did you think of making this? Or can I use this product in the rain?
Or is that jacket reversible?
Is that jacket reversible?" Exactly. And then the host or the streamer or the live seller or the merchant responds to them right away, like they're in the same room. That consumer, that audience member, gets this incredible boost of interactive delight, and then they convert. They buy the products on screen, because they're not just having the product delivered to them; they're having that long-awaited feeling of being part of the show. So what Stage 10 did was build our own real-time content delivery network, so we can deliver content in sub 200 milliseconds of latency, so it feels like you're in the same room, just like we're talking here on this Zoom. But we also built an interactive player, which let the audiences make their purchases right on screen as an interactive part of the show. And having powered the majority of live shopping in North America for major social networks and major retail brands, we learned very quickly that the conversion rates when streaming in real time through our player were 10 to 15%, whereas the conversion rates on social, where there was a long delay and we were on a system that was acting more as an advertisement for the product versus a true interactive shopping experience, were about 1 to 2%. So the proof's in the pudding in terms of how audiences are delighted and make their purchases and how many of them do that. The key is that conversation, that dialogue, that long-awaited breaking of the fourth wall.
Let's talk about that, because going back to the earliest days of home shopping with, for example, Home Shopping Network, and I had a lot of friends down there in St. Petersburg, and now they're part of the QVC family. Yeah. One of the things that they always told me is that their loyal viewers, their loyal shoppers, would call into the show to have somebody to talk to. Now, they weren't necessarily getting on air, but there's always the chance. Hi, we're talking to Dave in Toronto today. Dave, what are you doing now? Right? And there was always a chance of that. Do you find that when people are interacting with the show, they're actually interacting to buy, or they're interacting to talk?
I think it's a little bit of both. I think there's been, a core piece missing from particularly live content on the web. And that's taking advantage of the fact that the web is a two-way medium. People
Yep.
can be in a conversation. People can interact with content. And I think there's a major latent demand to have that feeling of connection again. And I think it's a mix. Like, people are buying because they want the product, and because sometimes products are hard to buy off an e-commerce brochure without asking a couple questions. But I think people are also buying, and it's really interesting. We see the most success with shows that are really interactive, where the content isn't all about selling the product, but buying the product is kind of an interactive part of the show. So people are buying to have that long-awaited feeling of being connected to the brand, to the live seller, to the content property, to the content. But they're also buying because, this is a way for them to um, support. Instead of sitting back and watching an annoying advertisement, they can lean forward, participate, send money right through the screen, and they get a
Right.
lot more out of that. While still supporting the content maker. And that those publishers and merchants and live sellers and creators and influencers, they're also looking for a way to monetize live streams on the internet. And that's been a struggle. We've seen the live creator economy lag behind the rest of the creator economy, because though the traditional ad models don't work nearly as well.
Right.
But what gets us so excited is that these real-time on-screen transactions really do work. And getting back to what you're saying about people calling in, these concepts aren't new. Like, you'd even see on the old telethons, when they'd shout out people's
Yeah.
names on screen, way more people would donate. It's the same thing with live shopping. Like, if you thank the buyer by name, if the other cool thing is, if someone asks a question during the show and the host answers their question like they're in the same room, 20% of the other people who are currently watching the experience, they have the same question in mind. So, for example, we work with a big paddleboard company that sells like $1,500 paddleboards, and someone will ask in the chat room, "Hey, can I use this in high tide?" And the host answers them, "Yeah, but you want to have this GPS and these safety equipment." And then suddenly, boom, 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 10 people make the purchase because they all had that same question.
Okay. We're gonna run out of time in about 3 minutes. So I want to ask, is this done primarily on handheld devices, phones and tablets, or are you also doing this on smart TVs? Where does this all occur?
Absolutely both. So the Stage 10 interactive player can be embedded on any storefront website. It can be fully integrated into the OTT or mobile app. And it also is powering all the live shopping in Shopify's consumer-facing marketplace shop. We also have multi-streaming to up to 30 destinations across social and video networks as well. Our system is the technological backbone that can turn publishers into affiliate live sellers. It can turn merchants into the next generation of specialty networks. It has so much power to be that distribution backbone that is purpose built for this kind of conversational, interactive content monetized by transactions.
It's interesting. You look at, we're recording this on a Friday. Probably 37 new fast channels launched today.
Yeah.
And to the extent now that the big studios are figuring, we've got that whole warehouse of stuff. If we digitize it and upgrade it and put metadata on it, we can actually get a market for it. We'll do the LA Law Fast Channel. I'm making that up, but actually I'm not making that up. Somebody just started doing one of those.
Oh, wow.
Now, in the middle of all of those episodes of some show, what you are doing for a sponsor going live during the middle of that is refreshing. It is unique and different, and actually kind of fits in the whole, I'm sitting watching this channel now. I'm paying attention to this channel. I'm not watching it on demand. I'm watching it live as everything is moving by. You are the ultimate live shopping experience.
Absolutely. And it it fits so well into all kinds of different models because we built our thing to easily integrate into OTT apps and let people interact and transact right on their TVs, on their remote controls.
Yep.
Because it's being adopted by major consumer marketplaces like Shop, and can power live interactive content for publishers like on their websites or in their own apps and OTT services. It provides all kinds of flexibility about creating fast channels that are like, let's say, like there's no reason retailers can't be the next generation of specialty channels, and there's no
Well,
reason
you're
that,
exactly right about that. Yeah.
that publishers can't finally start creating real interactive content, because we're giving them a way to generate revenue for it without necessarily becoming their own retailer. So it's not just the wonderful merchants we deal with on a B2B basis, but we also now have the ability to sell for more than one merchant in more than one Shopify merchant in a single shopping cart. So that opens the door to people who want to create these next generation content channels that are potentially subject matter and audience target specific, and then sell for multiple merchants within those shows as an amazing way to monetize.
Wow. There is something that I really love about the fact that what you're doing feels like it's live internet, but you have the capability of supporting brick and mortar stores where you actually have somebody walking through the tool section and you say, see this socket wrench? And you're off to the races. All right, listen, we got to
Absolutely.
go. Dave Lazar from Stage 10, we'll put a link to you and to Stage 10 when this publishes. And thank you for appearing on Talk Back to Television.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate the invite, and I invite everybody to reach out to me. I'm Dave at stage10ten.tv. Love to tell you more.
Very good. Thank you, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.